Hey guys, we are in Nez Perce once again today to talk about pheasants. The game's been out for a year and a half or something, or more than that, not even sure now. And I've never really gotten into pheasant hunting much into the game or anything like that. But in the last video I did, I was sort of talking negatively about the pheasant situation and Way of the Hunter. And I got a couple people actually were asking for me to sort of clarify why I didn't like pheasant hunting in the game. So I thought I would just sort of show people kind of what I'm seeing. It isn't really me saying, oh, you shouldn't do pheasant hunting Way of the Hunter or anything like that. But I am going to compare it to the Hunter Classic just because I've been sort of hanging out in the Hunter Classic recently. I used to play it a lot, now I kind of went back to it. And I did some pheasant hunting in there, and I used to do it in the past. And it's not to say, this game's better than that one, or this one's, or whatnot. Well, a little bit it is when it comes to pheasant hunting anyways. But I just want to sort of show for those that are wondering what sort of I'm talking about when I'm not a fan of the pheasant hunting and Way of the Hunter. So we're going to come over here, and the first thing I want to show is these two pheasants on the wall. So this is kind of a main issue I do have, not just with pheasants in Way of the Hunter, but, it's a pheasant video, so we're talking about the pheasants here. We have a 1-star adult and a 5-star trophy pheasant hanging on the wall. Now, can you see the difference? Because I certainly can't. If you think you can, and like seeing one's maybe longer than the other one or something like that, the little logs in the back are not straight. Like on the on the building here. So as far as I can tell, these two pheasants are exactly identical. So that's kind of the first thing I want to bring up, because this is not the only species that does this in the game. But it's just basically they just have two models as far as I can tell. They have a hen, and then they have the male. I don't know what you call it, a bull pheasant, a buck pheasant. I don't know what you call a male pheasant. Anyways. But they're identical models. So if you want to see here, I got here, and then I had a 5-star here, but I got the check mark on this one. This is the adult. So near a 1-star, and then over here is the 5-star mature, just so you can see I don't have it messed up or anything like that. A lot of people kind of already knew this too, and I did too, but it goes with the rabbits, and I'm pretty sure even like wolves are all the same, except the female wolf is 20% shorter than the male one, but model's kind of the same. Anyways, we're talking about pheasants, and more pheasants. But that's the first thing I wanted to sort of bring up, because in the Hunter Classic, they have like, their tails are all different lengths in accordance to their score. And I don't know what you call it on their feet. There's like the spurs or something like that, because I know the turkeys are scored by their, well, there's a big topic. Turkeys are turkeys ever going to come the Way of the Hunter? But the turkeys have their beard in their spurs, and it creates the score in the Classic. I think it's the same with the pheasants in Classic. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if they're called spurs though. Anyways, their feet score and their tail. But in Classic, you can visually see a high-scoring pheasant. Well, in Way of the Hunter, you can't at all. And the model doesn't look too bad from the back here. But I've always thought that the actual model of the pheasant was kind of not up to where I was hoping Way of the Hunter would be. And the model in Classic, I think it's about 7 years old, is the last time they did work on the pheasants. They did a rework of their pheasants at one point. And my guess is 5 years ago, maybe. It's probably a better guess. So they haven't really changed it since then. And I kind of like the model over there. So again, it's not to say, switch to Classic to do this, or play just Classic, or play just Way of the Hunter. It's mainly my perspective to just play both of them, or at least try them out, or try Classic out, or whatever. But I do want to sort of show what I'm talking about there. So that's one. I think that's fairly big, because in Classic, it's clearly, you can see the big long tail on them, and the tail has got its own little measurements, and it's kind of like their true rack system for the deer, but not as in-depth, obviously, but they have certainly different tails that correspond to the score. The next part's going to require me to actually find some pheasants, which isn't really too challenging to do. There should be some just up here to the right. And now some people said they've never noticed this. I've had a couple people are bringing this up. And I noticed it on... it's not to say like, oh, look, I notice things that other people don't or anything like that. But I think it's just I notice things that like jar me out of immersion. Maybe, I don't know. It's how the pheasants are programmed. If you spook a flock of pheasants, they all kind of act identical. So you stir them all up. They don't take off immediately at the same time. Some of them will, some of them won't. That's fine. But they're all pretty much in unison or very close to it. And what happens is they all fly up to, they all increase in altitude. They all fly up for the same amount of time, and they all stop at the same ceiling, and then they all kind of come down at the same rate, and then they land, and they'll all take like 3 steps, and then they'll fly it again. So it's like, it's all very programmed. Like 1, 2, 3, everybody fly, and then like I know it's sort of realistic that they all fly, but typically, so if you take Classic for example, since that's what I'm comparing it to. I hear them. Oh, I almost walked right into the guys. Okay, let's take a look at it now. So basically, if we can see them all, they're gonna fly up, go to the same height, all glide down. Now they do go in different directions, but they're all gonna land, take like 3 little steps, and they're all gonna take off, fly to the same height, and then fly down again. So we're just gonna stir them up here and just see. Because to me that feels very robotic. Okay, so we got a little bit of a stagger. But there they all gliding down. And then watch these 5 out here. A few little steps. And then they all go up. They'll all fly twice. And then they all come down. You know, fairly much together. So it's not horrible. But my main gripe is that they all do the same pattern. Like they all go up and then land. And then up and then land. They all fly twice. They all do the 2 little hop. Skip and a jump, and you know, I think they've got it mostly fixed. But at the first, some of them used to not even flap their wings; they were like flying up without their wings flapping or whatnot. But yeah, but to compare to like the Hunter Classic, if you run into a few of them, maybe I can show it. We'll see. But you'll have some of them run and then fly. Some of them fly immediately. Some of them just keep running. You have a bit more, they feel a little more individual, like doing their own little thing. And they have at least some kind of a programming in them in the Hunter Classic, where if a pheasant is, I'll just watch this one, go up, they all go to that height, and then they all glide down. Watch. 1, 2, 3, and up. That wasn't me doing it, it was gonna do that anyways. And then it will stop, it won't do it anymore. Well, until you run back up, do it again. But yeah, what I was saying is, Classic, if the pheasants are in the trees, they actually won't fly at all. So they do have a little bit of programming in them that if you find a flock of pheasants in the trees in the Hunter Classic, they'll all run. So they'll run away from you. They won't fly within trees, and once they come to a clearing, then they will take off. In Way of the Hunter, it doesn't matter where they are. They're going to do their fly up and then down and fly up and down there. So basically, that's my main issue with the pheasants in Way of the Hunter. In my opinion, the game should be more advanced than that. And with pheasants, they shouldn't be doing the exact same pattern. There should be some variation in it. The model should be better, and they definitely should have different lengths of tails and stuff like that. So that's kind of the main part I wanted to talk about. As far as, shooting in the air, it's okay. The rest, that's more about, the shotguns in the game. I won't get too much into that, but I do actually enjoy the shotguns in the Classic more. But anyways, then I hear, why don't you just play Classic then? Well, I do both of them. But actually, maybe I'll jump over there and we'll just take a peek. And I want to sort of do the comparison, sort of from a point of view, just a kind of a laid-back one. Just, you want to go pheasant hunting, you have 2 games. What's the experience going to be like? So basically, in Way of the Hunter, That's what it is. You'll find your need zones, just like any other animal, and then you will walk up to them. Way of the Hunter doesn't matter if they're on the ground or not. You can shoot them in the ground, or shoot them in the air. I don't think there's a flush. You know, I never checked that, but I'm pretty sure there is no flush. Is there a flush in the game? Because Hunter Classic, you can whistle, and you can actually flush them out of the grass. Yeah, no, there's no flush. So you have to give, you know, if you are doing a direct comparison, you have to give the Classic a little bit of points for that. Because that's just very immersive. You'll have the pheasants sort of bedded down. And I guess I didn't notice this too much. But, oh, I wonder if I can show that. You might have to just take my word for it. Oh no, these guys took off. I actually forgot they were there. But the pheasants, you know, now that I think of it, the pheasants in the Hunter Classic will actually bed down when they go, like, alert. And I don't know if they do that in this game. I think they just kind of keep walking around like they normally do. Maybe I can find... Here, let's try this guy. Let's see if this one over here will do a bed down. Because the pheasants in Classic will do it. They'll walk around happily eating or whatever, and if you get close, they'll just kind of tuck and go still. So they have that animation. So they've got a couple things going for it, like running in the tree line and waiting until they're clear out in the field before they take off. And then they certainly do hunker down and stop moving when you get near. And I don't think these ones do that. Let's see. We'll get the binoculars out here and just see what they're doing. So he's just kind of, or she, or he. Everyone, we're looking at a couple. Oh no, it's a group of 3 adult 1-stars. So they're just walking along, singing their song. And see, in Classic, they would have paused by now. Do these guys go alert and then do something? I never really checked. Just kind of trying. Yeah, see, the other ones, like in Classic, they would have all stopped moving. They would be still by now. Like he's not even going alert or anything. Yeah, they just fly immediately. So that's always kind of cool to see in Classic as well. They'll just pause, and they're harder to find. Because you'll be watching them eat, and then when you're trying to run up to them or find them, you won't be able to see them anymore. They won't be moving anymore. You don't have any moving pixels to locate. And then you will do the flush, and up they go, and it's kind of exciting. So anyways, let's jump over quick and take a look. And just like that, we are transported to the beautiful grasslands of Loggers Point, one of my favorite maps here. And we're just going to do a quick comparison. So it's, again, it's like the Way of the Hunter one might be better in some areas. Maybe I'm remembering all this with rose-colored glasses. Maybe it won't be very good. But we'll just take a look at it. When we're taking a look at it, you know, the full experience, comparing sort of the two. Now, I didn't shoot a pheasant there a second ago, but, you know, the shooting part's fairly simple. You know, point and don't miss. Pick your shotgun, right? I kind of wish I did fire so you can kind of hear the different sounds of the shotguns, but there's so many different shotguns anyways, that'll make the video far too long. But first thing I want to point out is, of course, Classic has the puppy dogs. I can't even find where Buttercup went. Oh, there she is down here. And so the main thing I want to point out is there's different ways to do pheasant hunting in the Hunter Classic, which is definitely some huge points there. Because there's actually a pointer dog you can use, or you can use your retriever dog to help you locate the pheasants. The German pointer will, of course, locate the pheasant for you. You can do the standard walk around and look for them, or they have a pheasant locator call. So this would be kind of cool in Way of the Hunter to locate the pheasants, but we don't really need it because the pheasant hunting is sort of pretty easy in Way of the Hunter since their need zones are all kind of tightly grouped together. They're not really hard to find, right? But I mean, if you didn't use the toolbox or anything like that, maybe it is difficult to find them, but this would be cool to have in the game. So anyways, in the Hunter class, you can walk around, do your little call, and basically, I'm gonna wait and see when one calls back. So it doesn't look like there's any in the area. The range of it's about 200 meters or something like that. It's quite far. And we do have some tracks here, so I do have to locate it, so it'll give me a second. These are just deer, though. Good size mule deer buck. Walked past my way at one point. But we're going to go through here, because this is the Logger Point map, and the pheasants all like to be out in these light green sort of fields. But you can find them in the trees, kind of like what I was saying before. But if you spook them, they will, like in the trees, they'll run out to the field before flying, which is kind of cool. So I will skip ahead here, just to try and see if we can find one. Basically, well, I guess I could show this. If you do, you know, there's a lot to it, right? But I don't want to get it too complicated because, you know, the business models are completely different between the two games. But if you do, you know, play a little bit, you can obtain everything free in the Hunter Classic. Again, this isn't like a promotion or anything like that. It's just kind of informational. But you can get the German pointer dog, and if you do, you can train it up, and it's got its own leveling system and everything like that. But you can command it like this to locate a small game. So you got different commands you can tell them. I just told her to locate small game. Now, since I didn't get a response from the locator, she's probably after a bunny rabbit. There's cottontails that live out here. Yeah, and I won't get into that, but the cottontail hunting is actually quite fun in here as well. Let's just pull her back, because I'm pretty sure she's on the trail of a cottontail rabbit. But like right away, you have sort of different choices, different options for how you want to hunt pheasants. And you get a nice little cool little companion if you want to go that route. But most that try the Hunter Classic and jump into pheasant hunting aren't really going to have the spotter dog with you. So yeah, it doesn't take too long really to grab the locator. And basically just kind of walk around. Every once in a while I'll do that. There we go. I was talking over it, but we got a call. A male pheasant just came within range. I'm going to try and mark it about out here. Almost there, a bit further than that. They can walk around fairly fast, but we got one on target now, so we will we'll make our way over there. It'll take us a while actually to get there. And on the way there, I'll actually show you. If you did want to jump in for the Hunter Classic, you get the 243 for free, but you also get this shotgun for free here. We can look down at it. This is something every hunting game should have, and I don't know why they don't. You can move your head around freely while walking straight. I have no idea why hunting games do not put that in there anymore. This gun's got a bit of an animation glitch. We're kind of shaking a little bit there. That's been around for like 7 years or something like that. It got introduced in a patch and they never fixed it. But anyways, what can you do? This is the free 12 gauge. It's just a single shot break action. I really like the old kind of rifles and stuff in the game. And yeah, it's free. And it can hunt actually most everything in the game, depending on what you put in it, buckshot, birdshot, or slugs. Not the big buffalo or anything like that, but it can pretty much do everything, so you can take it out. But right now we have birdshot shells with us. So we're just gonna load one in there. Nice little basic animation, which is good. I do really like this. I wish they did fix that little jitter though. But we're approaching the area now. Let's do another call. See if we get another call back. Yep, there it is. And it's a different one. So we have two males coming up here. Let's get some eyes on them. And yeah, this is basically sort of how you do it. It's nice and relaxing. You can't just pick a spot and go. Like there's no need zones or anything like that. There are areas that they spawn in and then they roam around. So you basically just get to know where they can sort of spawn around in the areas. Like you just know that the pheasants are in the grasslands here. And oh, look at that. We have a silhouette of a mule deer. And he's just a medium one, maybe a bit on the smaller side, but that was kind of cool to see. He's far enough away. Actually, let me get the range. How far was that? 115 meters, a bit further. He didn't spook, though, which was kind of surprising, actually. We have a third male call. You can tell they're a new animal because it says new thing in it. If it's an old call that you've heard before from the same animal, it'll say rediscovered. There's three males. There's also a skill system where you can actually improve your skill with pheasants. tracking them. Something you can't do away the hunter in the classic. You can actually follow their footprints in this game. Track them. So he's kind of hunkered down. I'm gonna watch him for a second. Maybe he'll wake up. He's actually, oh, he's got quite the range. So I don't have a huge spotting skill on them. Score 15 to 26 is quite like the 26 is a really big guy. But you can see his tail out there, and he's looking decent. I'm not super experienced with him, but he seems to be hunkered down for me. I was sort of hoping I could show them walking and then me kind of making them pause, but maybe he's just sitting there and resting. But essentially that's it. If you do get a dog, you can command it like this again, and she'll probably go right point immediately. Okay, so she took the command, and she's going to turn around and... What are you doing, Buttercup? She's detected one. She's going to walk into me. There's one right there. She points 40 meters away. Did you really? Oh, there she goes. There's the point. So she says, there's a pheasant right there. She's supposed to point at 40 meters back, though. Like, once you get her leveled up. Isn't that cool? I know I can't put this against Way of the Hunter, that they don't have the dogs. But, there she gave up because I got too close to her. But, I mean, that's cool that they're here. And it's such a cool little thing. You can tell her to lay down. Anyways, my video's going on a little long. It's just kind of nice to have the two different games, but as you can kind of see, I do kind of really like the pheasant hunting more in Classic just because of all these options. Now he's kind of hunkered down there still. So that's what I was kind of talking about. They're not walking around. I'm fairly certain he's that because he's detected me and he's hiding. Maybe I can show when they're running around again, but the animals are very sensitive in this game. They will detect you earlier usually. Usually people that try Classic have a hard time with it because of how difficult it can be. Another male way over there. So maybe we can. So let's just see if we can get this guy. I'm a horrible shot though. Oh, we can do the flush thing. So if you walk up to him, he will eventually fly. But if you want to try and control it, you can do the flush. So we'll just see what happens here. So we'll get our gun ready. And this is nice and cool, like an immersive little thing. There we go. Got him. I even kind of like how they follow the sky better too, so. But just like that, you only get the one shot with this, but that's all you should need. And then you can, well, I guess I'll show you this as well. I just so happen to have a tent on my back. And in my tent, got a little campfire and everything. And in my little tent, I have all my dogs. They just live in my backpack with my tent. There we go. That was Buttercup. This is Pickles. Pickles, yeah. And we'll make, you know, we'll give her a little collar on there and everything. There she goes. She doesn't have the little. I don't really have like a little like backpack for her, but there's Pickles. And then you can also hunt with her. So we'll get her here. Get her up and running. And I don't use the retriever too much. Level 34, not too bad. We should be able to command her to go find the pheasant for us. There she goes. She's detected it. And away she goes. So isn't this cool though? And I know, I'm hoping Way of the Hunter gets to the point where this stuff gets in here. But, I think she's found it there. Yep, here she comes. Here she comes with the pheasant. Oh, can't even see her. There she is. There. And then sets it down there for you. So here's the model. And I know I am praising the Hunter Classic here, but look at the tail on the thing, and that thing changes. Maybe we can get a smaller pheasant. Sort of, kind of to show. But the bodies are much bigger too, eh? So I don't know if it's like a different kind of pheasant or whatever. But you know, it's like an older game, so you get this. 21 point, not massive. You get 26 of the GMs. That's the free currency you can get. And then, of course, you can always view it in here. We won't take a trophy shot, but this is something also I don't know why hunting games don't have. Like, not just Way of the Hunter, but like any kind of hunting game should have like a trophy hunting kind of shot kind of pose. But there's the model of it anyways. And yeah, the tail's all different lengths and everything like that. And I should try and remember to, like, that's a pretty good model for, you know, this model's like 7 years old or something like that, I think. They did do a remake, but I'm not actually too sure how much they updated the model. I think they only updated the flight, so this is actually pretty old. Let's just try and see if I can find one. Here, I already see one. There's walking around. So there's the animation. I'm just walking out. I want to see if I can show you that it'll take cover and try and hide. There it is cruising around. So it's looking for its friends or something. There, it's got to flee. It's doing that now. I'm gonna lose sight of it here, but I think it's gonna try to hide here when we get up over here. So let's take a look. Let's command Pickles to lay down. I lost where it is. I think it's right there. Oh, you didn't lay... Hey now, Pickles. You're like a level 34 dog or something. You should know to lay down. Where is this pheasant, though? Should be right up here. There's a track. I can see it. Is it right here? No. Flower. Oh, maybe I won't be able to show you, because if it's hunkered down, I might just step on it. It stops moving. There's another one over there. I might step on it here, though. Yep, look at that. Did you guys see it? I didn't see it. It was right here. Okay, I'm gonna have to play that back. But it wasn't moving anymore. It was, see, in Way of the Hunters, they don't do that. And, anyways, this is why I think maybe if Way of the Hunters may be your first hunting game with pheasants in it, maybe it seems okay, but since I come from this one with the pheasants, it was quite jarring, Way of the Hunters. But I think that's all we'll do for now. She's got it there. They're carrying it a little bit better this time. Can we see the tail, though? Let's see the score. And see what it is here. 23. So that is a decent one for sure. You're usually aiming for like 26 or something like that. But this one, I don't know if you can tell the tail's longer, but it certainly looks a bit nicer to me. And longer. See, I kind of have to take my word for it on that one. They get pretty long. I'm not going to keep hunting because the video is already going on half an hour. But yeah, this one should have a couple extra inches or something on that. And I can probably try to show you the score sheet, which is actually kind of cool. So let's try and find that. Okay, guys, so here's the last thing I wanted to show you. That's, you know, this is pretty impressive, really. Like, the game launched with this sort of thing. So this is the pheasant scoring guide. And so this is all where the calculations happen and how it actually, and it translates correctly into the game. So length of the longest tail feather is how they get T1, and they do change visually in the game. And then they add together something with T2. So yeah, it's the spurs. So imagine, I wouldn't put it past them to actually change the length of this in the game as well. But of course you can't really see that one. You're mainly going off of the tail. But it just shows you, there's the left spur, there's the right one. Look, there's even two different size differences between the two different spurs. And that is the length of the feather. And somehow they add together or something like that, and you get your certain score at 23. So I think they're just adding straight together. But it's really cool. It'll get the weight. It'll show you the distance right down, like 0.640 meters, 33.640. Translating to feet while it was flying. This game has it so if you do shoot them on the ground, then they don't count. You don't get your little monies for them. But yeah, there's your weight. This is the exact coordinates where it got it, and the date and time. And if you had a trophy shot, which I didn't take, I probably should have. I think it posts the trophy shot somewhere in here actually too. So that is that. So I think I'll leave it off there. But this is where I'm coming from. So that's me. And I'm not gonna say, you know, don't do away with hunter pheasant hunting or anything like that. I'm just saying I come from this pheasant hunting, and I was sort of, it was jarring to see the Way of the Hunter one and how kind of basic it was, where, you know, they only have the two models and they're kind of like a robotic flighty. They don't kind of hunker down and hide. There's no like locator call, stuff like that, or there's no super awesome scoring like this. But anyways, this is sort of where I would, you know, in a perfect world, what we would get from Way of the Hunter, at least what I would want from Way of the Hunter. But yeah, anyways, I'll keep playing both games, of course. But thanks for watching, and let me know what you think down in the comments, of course, and take care, and see you in the next one.